Professor P.C. Agarwal Sir, Joint Director, NCRT, Professor Sucheta Prakash, the respected Vice Chancellor, Principal, Madam Vice Chancellor बनने वाली है लेकिन respected Principal Professor Sucheta Prakash, Dean, Head of the Departments, participants, media people, and all of you. First of all, I would like to congratulate the college and the NCRT for having chosen a very timely and relevant topic to be discussed in the gathering like this. Now, when we talk about the inclusion, I was thinking about the topic and I could not decide from where to begin and where to end. Because the topic does convey several things, and if I make use of the phraseology that you people make use of, I would say, should I talk about modus vivendi or should I talk about the modus operandi? But anyway, when I was looking at the topic, it gave me the impression that this is connected with the life of both Shiksharthi and Shikshak. That starts from a darshak and culminates into a sadhak. ये पूरा आपका जो सेमिनार का विषय है, ये शिक्षक और शिक्षार्थी की वह यात्रा है जो एक दर्शक के रूप में शुरू होती है और साधक के रूप में कल्मिनेट होती है. मित्रों, I made use of the word sadhak for the fact that I could not find an appropriate word which can communicate the same meaning in English. And therefore I thought, because usually when we talk about sadhak, we translate the word as practitioner. But practitioner is not enough. When we talk about a sadhak, the cultural connotations and the other things that it carries matters, and therefore I said, since it carries the connotation of internalization also and practitioner also, I will be making use of the word sadhak rather than saying that he is a practitioner or internalizer. And here our role becomes very significant. Dear friends, as we all know, this is not something new for us when we talk about Indian knowledge system. We did have the Gurukulas. People did not learn IKS. They lived in IKS. They lived the IKS and they were guided by the IKS. But then, as we know the history could not do justice to the system. Because of the erosion of the culture, there were certain reasons for that. The aggressors come to this country and this country remained or was enslaved by the Britisher for more than 2 centuries. And as a result, what they tried to do, we tried to adopt and decided to forget ourselves, thinking that what they said was better than what we had as our own knowledge system. Dear friends, we were subdued by a sort of conspiracy. We became a part of a trade, and this trade was very beautifully shown by the Britishers. This was being recognized even by our father of the nation, Bapu, and it was as long back as in 1931. And I would like to quote the 2 lines that he said at that time. And these 2 lines are very significant for certain things. He said that our education system What the Britishers did, they tried to uproot the tree, never irrigated it, and as a result, the tree itself perished. Because we decided to depend on the received knowledge and the received experience that we imported from the West. And that received experience and received knowledge became so significant for us because we decided to believe in the words of Macaulay. And Macaulay, if you remember, I would quote only two lines. That's what he said: "A single shelf of a good European library was worth the whole native literature of India and Arabia." And let me tell you, in some or the other way, we continue to follow the legacy that came to us from Macaulay. We continue to follow the received knowledge and the received experience, although we cannot deny the fact that in the last 10 years, the change of wind has blown, and thereby several changes are occurring now. We are discussing these things in the seminar and the conferences, but then earlier these things were not there. Not only we Indians realized it, but even the foreigners, they also realized, the Britishers themselves. You must have heard the name of a very famous scholar, Horace Wilson. And he wrote an article at the beginning of the 20th century in Asiatic Journal. I don't remember the name. Yeah, it is here. And the title of the article was Natives of India. And he very pinpointedly made it very clear how the Britishers are adamant on destroying the knowledge system that is a part of the very Bharatiya ethos. And this is what he wrote in the journal at that time. This article was published not in the beginning of the 20th century, but in 1836 in Asiatic Journal. And this is what he wrote in that article: "By annihilating native literature, by sweeping away all sources of pride and pleasure in their own mental efforts, by rendering a whole people dependent upon a remote and unknown country for all their ideas and for the words in which to clothe them, we should degrade their character, depress their energies, and render them incapable of aspiring to any intellectual distinction." And to a certain extent, Macaulay, the Britishers, as Horace Wilson said, they succeeded in their mission. And as a result, if you look at the education system of this country, it became a standing monument. This is usually the comparison that I make. A standing monument of the mission accomplished. Because we thought that whatever they were giving was the best for us. And we stopped thinking about it. That is, there cannot be any betterment because they are the best people in the world, and therefore they will continue to be our ideal. And as a result, very often I also make use of another metaphor for this, that the Britishers, they did not take away only the Kohinoor diamond, but our confidence too. And as a result, we became dependent upon them from the point of view of creativity and from the point of view of critical thinking. Everything was enslaved, even the single thought that came that would convey the idea that they were better, and we would try deliberately to ignore our own system. This continued to happen. Even in the post-independence India, we could not learn a lesson even from our freedom fighters. Look at them. When they were talking about national awareness, they were talking about they were making use of our own culture, our own system, and spreading the message to the humanity, to the mankind, not only to the people of this country, but people all over the world, that what we have. Even we could not take a lesson from that movement also, and continue to trade on the same path. And the result is that we did have such a system, that it is because of the system that we could not become the developed nation. Still, we continue to wait for our own, let us say, our own occasion, then we shall acquire this status. मित्रों, ये सब हुआ कई बार मुझे याद आता है, मैं कॉले अपनी ग्रेव में होगा, बहुत प्रसन्न हो रहा होगा कि मैंने जो किया बहुत अच्छा किया और आज तक, लेकिन अब उसको बहुत दुख हो रहा होगा कि अब भारतीय जा चुका है और उसमें वो शक्ति और उसने अपनी कोई भी शक्ति पुनः प्राप्त कर ली है जिसके लिए तुम प्रसन्नता व्यक्त कर रहे थे। मित्रों, इतना ही नहीं, हमने गांधी को महात्मा बना दिया, जिससे कि गांधी के बारे में, या रविन्द्रनाथ टैगोर को ठाकुर बना दिया, जिससे कि हम उनको डिस्टिंक्ट पीपल कह सके, डिस्टिंक्ट पर्सनालिटी कह सके और हमारी तुलना उनसे नहीं कर सके, इसलिए उनकी सारी बातों को झूठा और सच्चा किया जा सके। मित्रों, जब इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम की बात करते हैं तो बहुधा कहा जाता है कि इट इज एन आइडियोलॉजिकल सिस्टम। When we talk about IKS, we talk about ideological system that relates to the Sanatan Parampara. There is no doubt about it. It relates to that also. But then more proper and appropriate would be, let us say, this is Indian wisdom in action. It is not only an ideological setup or system, but wisdom in action. I would like to give you one example. अगर बात सब दूसरे क्षेत्र से आते हैं, शेखावाटी में there used to be a परंपरा का मतलब there used to be a sort of practice in the village, और जो जिससे कि उस विलेज की संस्कृति को, हरियाली को सुरक्षित रखा जा सके। एक स्थान ऐसा मान लिया जाता था कि जिसको कहा जाता था बड़ी क्षेत्र है, और इसमें से कोई भी लकड़ी या ईंधन का उपयोग करना या किसी भी तरह से इस बड़ी को नुकसान पहुंचाना देवत्व को नुकसान पहुंचाना है, और उसके लिए आपको किसी भी रूप में दंड मिल सकता है। मित्रों, हमारे पूर्वज कितने बुद्धिमान थे। आई एम ट्राइंग टू मेक यू बिलीव दिस फैक्ट दैट दे डिड ऑल दिस। दे डिड हैव दिस ट्रेडिशन ऑफ बड़ी, and this body was very significant because they used to be the carbon sink of that time. But with the passage of time, we also decided to forget our indigenous system. So when we talk about IKS, we talk about Indian wisdom in action. And when we talk about Indian wisdom in action, we talk about indigenous system also, we talk about ideological setup also, which we call unbroken Sanatan Parampara. Mitron, when we look at, because this is what your title says, integration of IKS into school curriculum. Now there are two ways of integrating the IKS into the curriculum. Number one, imposition, and number two, internalization. Do the things survive when they are imposed? The syllabus comes from the above and remain confined to the classrooms. The moment we go outside the classroom, it becomes extinct. Now, do we need such a system that the moment we are outside the classroom, our system becomes extinct? And therefore, when we talk about the incorporation or integration of IKS into the curriculum, we need to talk about internalization, not imposition. Because when we talk about internalization, it is internalization, as I was giving the example, that shapes our script. Imposition, we try to move in accordance with the parameters, that these are the things which I need to follow. But internalization will shape the script and will certainly make you better, because in that case you will be working from the within, and that working from the within will have its own result. Now, this process of internalization will take place or must take place through various pedagogies that we very often talk about. Number one, learner-centered pedagogy, experiential system or experiential teaching, and then we can also talk about value-based teaching. We need to devise the ways how to implement these pedagogies in the classroom. Now, when I was a participant, like you are a participant of the seminar in a refresher course, of course, in English during those days, these courses used to be subject specific. The expert in the valedictory session, the expert came, he was from JNU, and since he belonged to English, he was teaching us passive voice, and the example that he gave was I killed a snake, and then of course, the passivization was a snake was killed by me. I was feeling very uneasy, but keeping in mind the courtesy of the whole setup, I could not stand up and say anything, but after the session was over, I went to him and spoke to him and I said, sir, during the whole discourse that went on for 1.5 hours, you killed some 50 snakes. And thereby you have done a great harm to the environment. Can't we choose the sentences that does not do any harm? And he agreed that that was a mistake made on his part. What I am trying to point out is that consciously or unconsciously, we are doing several things which may not suit our ethos. And therefore, we need to make it a practice that when I go to the classroom of environment or any other, let us say, because this is what IKS talks about. It talks about interdisciplinarity and multidisciplinarity. You cannot, when you go to Bhasha class, you cannot remain confined only to Bhashas. But you need to think about all the other disciplines also. And your pedagogy must be such that when you teach a Bhasha, your discourse does not have any other discipline in some or the other way. Because in that case, the very purpose of your teaching will be covered. Mitron, when we talk about mathematics, we talk about any other subject, there are examples. For example, when we talk about mathematics, how should we teach mathematics? We can go to the classroom, we can talk about Sulba Sutras. Right? And make the student learn those sutras, and through them, Professor Agarwal could be talking about it in a better way, but then the little bit I know, I have talked about. Similarly, when you go to the environmental classes, you need to talk about the reed that we did have, and that reed still continues in some or the other way in our daily life also. That reed could not be eclipsed by the colonizers. And that is why we say that our Sanskriti is Sanatan Sanskriti. It has got a civilization and a cultural base. अगर किसी संस्कृति को धर्म प्रधान संस्कृति और ज्ञान पर आधारित संस्कृति कहा गया विश्व में, तो मित्रों वो भारतीय संस्कृति ही थी। और इसलिए इस धर्म प्रधान और ज्ञान प्रधान, ज्ञान केंद्रित, ज्ञान आधारित संस्कृति को भुला करके हमने विलोपित, एक तरह से विलोपित करने के प्रयास करने के बाद अब वापस आए हैं, लेकिन उस दौरान जो नुकसान हुआ है उसकी भरपाई होना बहुत मुश्किल है। फिर भी इन सब चीज़ों को रिव्यू करने की आवश्यकता है। मित्रों, जब हम लाइफ स्किल्स की बात करते हैं तो योगा की बात करते हैं, मेडिटेशन की बात करते हैं, और इनके साथ जिन चीज़ों को जोड़ दिया जाता है, वो जोड़ दिया जाता है कि पीपल आर गोइंग बैक। आर वी गोइंग बैक? If I put this question to this august gathering, are we going back? When I go to the classes of yoga or meditation, what do? I am talking about the life skills. And thereby we are modernizing. We are not going back, but we are trying to inculcate modern skills, modernity and modernization. We are trying to promote the spirit of modernization among our students. Now, with this approach, you need to take the matter to the classroom, because your role becomes very significant at that time. मित्रों, थोड़े दिन पहले तो नहीं कह सकते, वैसे हमारे लिए थोड़े दिन पहले ही हैं, क्योंकि 2-3 जगह बाहर गए होंगे। तो it was the year 2011 when I went to Japan, attended a conference there, और मैंने कहा कि भाई आप क्या पढ़ाते हो? अंग्रेजी पर कॉन्फ्रेंस थी। I was chairing one of the sessions and there was a co-chair also. He belonged to Japan. I said, what do you teach in English? I am talking about the changes that we need to bring about at the level of modus vivendi. और उन्होंने बिल्कुल स्पष्ट जवाब दिया, we do not teach any English classes. All the classes are Japanese classes in translated version of English. English version of Japanese classes we teach except English grammar and English communication. He said we do have 4 semesters, and in the 4 semesters, in the first 2 semesters, we teach 1 paper each, that is on English grammar, and in the last 2 semesters, we teach 1 paper each, that is on English communication skills. All the other papers, they are papers, English version of Japanese classes. मित्रों, इस देश में स्वतंत्रता के इतने वर्षों के पश्चात भी गठित नहीं हो पाया। 80 वर्ष की यात्रा है हमारी। जापान, we did have the legacy of the British. We could not live this partly because of our admiration for the West and partly because of our mentality. Considering because we were mentally enslaved. We need to learn a lot of things from these countries which have taken a lead and which are designing or dictating, or let me say guiding or leading the whole world. We forgot even the concept of swa. जब स्वदेशी की बात आई, जब स्वधर्म की बात आई, तब भी हमने उसको भुलाने का निश्चय किया। मित्रों, इन सब को हमारे करिकुलम में स्थान देने का समय आ गया है। Although I am glad and I would like to congratulate Professor P.C. Agarwal also, because I have seen some of the textbooks which have come out. They are beautifully crafted. I would not say drafted, but they are beautifully crafted. And in those textbooks, IK has been given a due place. And moreover, let me tell you, this is another thing also, because the mandate of the implementation of NEP 2020 and thereby IKS lies with the institutions like you. And from your institutions, it will come to the institutions of mine. We will try to link and proceed on what you have already done. And therefore, I would request even the principal and the joint director to do something which can beautifully incorporate IKS at all the 3 levels. At the level of man, when I talk about man, I talk about teacher and taught. At the level of method, when I talk about method, I talk about the pedagogy, let me say roughly. And when I talk about the material, I talk about the curriculum. So curriculum, then method, and then man. If we could succeed in incorporating the changes at all the 3 levels, in that case we would be able to successfully integrate IKS into our curriculum. Thank you so much for giving me the chance and having invited me, because Professor Prakash, when she says that you have to come, this is, I would say from this stage, this मेरे लिए आज्ञा होती है वो, तो मुझे यहाँ आना ही होता है, इसलिए उनकी आज्ञा की अनुपालना के लिए यहाँ उपस्थित हुआ हूँ। आप सबका एक बार पुनः आभार और धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद सर।